Hey guys, today we're heading into the quiet, unsettling, and strangely poetic streets of Wuhan at the very start of the world's first COVID-19 lockdown. You're not watching from the news this time, you're in it. Right there, second floor balcony, listening to the echo of a city trying to remember how to breathe. The streets hum with a kind of stillness you don't usually notice until it's everywhere, wrapping itself around you like an oddly polite ghost. It's January 2020, and you're waking up to a text message that feels a bit like a punchline you missed, something about not leaving the building. The joke is, you probably won't survive this. Not in the dramatic Hollywood way, but in the slow unraveling of your old routines, your sense of time, and your patience for banana bread. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And while you're at it, drop a comment with where you're watching from and what time it is over there. Have a nice day. The sky outside is that pale, dusty blue that never quite decides whether to rain or just stay moony. You step out onto the balcony, slippers, hoodie, mug of something hot you didn't even taste, and take in a city that has quite literally gone silent. It's like someone hit pause. No horns, no scooters, just the occasional flutter of a pigeon who clearly didn't get the memo. Down on the street, a lone sanitation worker sweeps the already clean sidewalk. He's wearing a mask and an expression that says, "I'm not getting paid enough for this." You raise your mug in greeting. He nods back. This is the new social contract. Above you, someone's uncle is doing Tai Chi in boxer shorts. Next door, a middle-aged woman waters her balcony plants like she's in a French indie film. Across the street, a teenager blasts a saxophone solo that is ambitious. You're suddenly aware that balconies are Wuhan's new stage, and you're part of the show. You didn't audition, but here you are. Historical records might one day call this the beginning of the pandemic era, but right now, you're mostly just wondering if you'll have enough toilet paper and whether it's okay to eat instant noodles 3 times a day. Spoiler, it is. Historians still argue whether the city's full lockdown, announced suddenly with trains canceled and highways sealed, was a swift precaution or a delayed reaction. What you know for sure is that life as you knew it has been zipped up in a biohazard bag and politely left outside your door. The elevators are off limits now. A handmade sign, marker on cardboard, taped askew, reads, "Use stairs, stay safe, no touch." You start counting steps like they're currency. On floor 6, a grandma with 3 bags of rice is muttering something philosophical about patience. You nod, partly in solidarity, partly to buy time as you catch your breath. From your balcony vantage, you notice little things changing. Someone strung up a red paper lantern, out of season but oddly comforting. There's a growing chorus of voices each evening at 7 p.m. Clapping, cheering, even someone banging a pot with a soup ladle. A balcony flash mob. Encouragement for healthcare workers, sure, but also a reminder that you're still here, still human. The air smells different. Not cleaner exactly, but less cluttered. Without the exhaust fumes and fried street snacks, you begin to notice the scent of jasmine tea from the apartment below, the crisp bite of winter air, the faint dust of disinfectant sprayed every morning in the stairwell. Quirky rumor of the week, that a neighborhood pigeon has been trained to deliver snacks between balconies. You haven't seen it yourself, but your cousin swears they got a pack of sunflower seeds via pigeon last Tuesday. The bird's name is apparently Mr. Lee. You start paying more attention to shadows. The way they stretch across rooftops, the way the light shifts across the walls. Your phone battery drains faster these days, not from doom scrolling, but from filming the same cat sleeping on the same windowsill. It becomes a thing. Cat watching, cat naming, that one's Chairman Mao. Somewhere deep in the silence, you realize you haven't used your voice out loud in almost a day. It comes out cracked and uncertain when you say, "Hello?" You laugh, a little too loud. Chairman Mao does not seem impressed. And yet, the stillness has a rhythm. It's not comfortable, but it's oddly bearable. The days melt into one another like slow wax. Morning tea, balcony check-in, the daily delivery of vegetables wrapped in more plastic than a 90s action figure. You miss noise, but you don't miss traffic. You miss people, but you also kind of enjoy not being jostled on the metro. On day 12, someone sets up a karaoke machine on the 7th floor balcony. They only sing love ballads from the 80s. You can't tell if it's a cry for help or a declaration of resilience, but you hum along anyway. The acoustics are terrible. The mood? Impeccable. Word spreads that a local historian is recording daily balcony diaries, whispering stories from Wuhan's past into a microphone perched on a flower pot. You tune in with headphones one night and learn that in 1927, residents once rioted because someone spread a rumor that the Yangtze River had turned to wine. You wonder if that would help right now. The air feels different again, heavier. Or maybe that's just the accumulation of stillness, of waiting, of wondering what's next. A drone buzzes overhead, probably delivering medicine or monitoring the streets, or both. You wave to it anyway. It's the most movement you've seen all morning. You start writing poems, bad ones, but they're yours. You begin reading labels in the kitchen aloud like they're love letters. MSG, dried mushroom powder, sodium bicarbonate. You give each word a dramatic pause. You are your own theater troupe now. As the sun sets on another quiet, curiously comforting day in lockdown, you light a small candle on the balcony. Not for any ritual really, just to see the flame move. You wake up to the sound of your neighbor boiling water. Not loudly, just the soft gurgle of something familiar. It's the audio wallpaper of pandemic life now, mixed with the distant echo of a bicycle bell and a few birds that seem baffled by the sudden absence of car horns. You stretch, blink at the ceiling, and contemplate breakfast. Rice or rice with egg. Gourmet choices in a world that shrunk to your kitchen and the radius of a face mask. Let's talk about food, not the Instagrammable kind. We're deep in survival cuisine now. You open the fridge like it's a treasure chest from a slightly disappointing pirate movie. A limp carrot, a half bag of frozen dumplings, and a bottle of soy sauce you swear was full yesterday. Somehow, you turn this into a feast. You become a food magician, or maybe just an extremely inventive stir-fryer. Going outside is no longer casual, it's an expedition. You wrap your face in a mask that fogs up your glasses and makes you look like a worried duck. You double-check your phone for the QR health code that now determines whether you're allowed into the grocery store. Green, go. Yellow, wait. Red, maybe don't. The streets are still nearly empty, but the occasional movement feels magnified. A delivery worker zips by on a scooter, fully covered in makeshift plastic armor. You spot a man walking his dog with a 5-meter leash from his second-floor window. The dog seems unimpressed. The man's neighbors applaud anyway. The grocery store is open, but transformed. Everyone moves like cautious dancers, keeping 3 meters apart, eyes scanning shelves with the desperation of contestants on a mildly terrifying cooking show. You go in with a list: garlic, tofu, chili oil. You come out with none of those and somehow 4 cabbages. You convince yourself this is fine. Historical fact for the curious. During the 1910 Manchurian plague in northern China, authorities encouraged people to wear rudimentary cloth masks. Over a century later, you're buying a box of surgical masks like it's the last ticket to a sold-out concert. The design is better, but the vibe? Uncomfortably familiar. Back home, groceries get the spa treatment. You wash each item like it's a delicate relic from an archaeological dig. You spray vinegar on the bananas. You sing to the bok choy. You're not sure it helps, but it definitely feels like a ritual. And in times like these, rituals matter. Your cooking evolves. You learn to make scallion pancakes with 5 ingredients and boundless patience. You attempt fermented chili paste and accidentally invent a new form of glue. You grow green onions in a jar of water and refer to them as your balcony children. You talk to them. They never talk back, which is polite of them. There's a knock at your door. You freeze. A knock these days could mean many things, none of them casual. But it's just your neighbor, dropping off an extra bag of rice and some sweet potatoes. He's wearing 2 masks and holds the bag out with barbecue tongs. You thank him through the door like you're in a low-budget spy movie. Your apartment complex has created a rotating schedule for group grocery orders. Every 3 days, one resident volunteers to coordinate. You become strangely excited for this. Not for the food, though that helps, but for the flurry of chat messages. Who wants taro? We don't need more cabbage. Does anyone remember how to cook lotus root? You check the news. Just a quick glance, you tell yourself. 30 minutes later, your brain is a swamp of graphs and acronyms. You close your phone and open a packet of seaweed snacks. Much better. On the balcony, the city's rhythms return in strange new forms. A child down the block is learning violin, slowly. You suspect his parents have regrets. 2 floors up, someone has started brewing what smells like very strong rice wine. A subtle protest or an ambitious hobby? No one knows. You wave at your neighbor again. This time she waves back with a ladle. It feels meaningful. You've reached the level of familiarity where kitchen utensils are now part of the language. Quirky tidbit time. A few apartment complexes in Wuhan started holding impromptu cooking contests during lockdown. Residents shared photos of their creations in building-wide group chats. The prize? Bragging rights and possibly a slightly better vegetable delivery next round. Your complex? You're still trying to agree on what counts as a dumpling. Your senses heighten. You start to hear the rice cooker's final click with emotional intensity. You become an expert in the sound of soy sauce hitting a hot wok. You time your laundry not by the clock, but by the sunlight patch on your balcony railing. Somewhere in your cupboards, a dusty bag of herbal tea makes a reappearance. You sip it while watching shadows stretch across the rooftops like slow-moving origami. It tastes like nostalgia and faint regret. You drink it anyway. Historians still argue whether the severity of Wuhan's initial lockdown was the key to controlling the virus or simply an unprecedented social experiment. From your point of view, both might be true. You've learned how to live inside a box, and somehow you're fuller than you were before. Dinner is simple tonight. Rice, steamed greens, maybe a fried egg if you're feeling extravagant. You eat slowly. You always do now. Time has stopped chasing you, and you're not sure you want it to start again. As the night falls and your apartment cools, you light a single incense stick. Not for any spiritual reason, but because it makes the room smell like someone else's calm. You sit by the window, spoon in hand, staring out at the quiet glow of a city in hibernation. You wonder what people in other countries are doing right now. Are they still going to concerts? Are their grocery shelves still full of snack cakes and fancy cheese? You don't envy them, not tonight. Tonight, you have your tea, your balcony children, and the soothing crackle of rice in the pan. You wake up later than usual today, but who's keeping track? The calendar on the wall is now more of a suggestion. You rub your eyes and check your phone, not for messages, those are rare these days, but to see who's posted in the building group chat. Someone's uploaded a video of a toddler trying to put a mask on their teddy bear. It's exactly the level of emotional depth you can handle before coffee. And coffee has become a ceremony now. You prepare it slowly, like a monk handling sacred herbs. The kettle whistles softly. The smell grounds you. You sit on your balcony, cup in hand, and begin your new morning routine, checking the digital heartbeat of a sealed city. Screens are your lifelines. The chat groups, video calls, live streams, these aren't just distractions anymore. They're civilization in miniature. Your friends wave from their own corners of isolation, some still in pajamas, others wearing suspiciously clean collared shirts for Zoom meetings. You see their ceilings, their plants, their desperate attempts at indoor workouts. Together, apart, always buffering. The schools are closed, of course, but that doesn't stop your niece from attending online class at the dining table. Her teacher appears on screen with a wallpaper background of a sunny meadow that is obviously fake. Her classmates talk over each other, accidentally unmute themselves, or vanish mid-sentence. You help her with math homework you no longer understand. She calls you Professor of Snacks. You accept the promotion. You've taken to watching old movies with your building mates. Not together exactly. Everyone streams the same film at the same time, then leaves commentary in the group chat like a very polite Mystery Science Theater. Last night's pick was Shaolin Soccer. Tonight, The Sound of Music, which someone describes as the opposite of our current mood and therefore perfect. The building complex has become a village. Someone hosts morning yoga live streams. Someone else offers calligraphy tutorials. You try both. You're not good at either, but you laugh, and so does the instructor. And in that shared awkwardness, something small and good survives. Historical side note: during the 2003 SARS outbreak, people in Beijing also relied heavily on chat rooms and SMS to stay connected. But back then, there were no filters, no TikToks, no dance challenges. You imagine the ancestors watching your attempt at an indoor shuffle dance and shaking their heads gently. Your favorite online ritual is the balcony concerts. Every Friday evening, 7 p.m. sharp, someone plays live music from their phone speakers, while residents sing along, or try to. The lyrics are posted in the group chat. You mispronounce half the words and belt the rest with full sincerity. A neighbor adds harmonies with a ukulele. It is objectively terrible. It is deeply moving. Digital birthdays are another adventure. You attend one via six-way video call, where the birthday girl bakes her own cake and we all sing a slightly off-key happy birthday with mismatched delay. She cries. We cheer. Someone lights a sparkler and waves it at their webcam. For a moment, you forget what's missing. Quirky tidbit? A group of gamers in Wuhan managed to recreate their apartment complex in Minecraft and started meeting up inside it. They hosted birthday parties, explored imaginary gardens, and left virtual notes on each other's digital balconies. You're not a gamer, but you get it now. Sometimes survival looks like pixels and portals. Work meetings are a different story. You log on, mic muted, camera off. You're technically there, but mentally you're watching a pigeon try to balance on an air conditioner. The boss says something about quarterly reports and pivoting strategy. You type thumbs up and return to your bowl of instant noodles. Historians still argue whether the explosion of digital intimacy during Wuhan's lockdown created lasting shifts in urban community structures or was simply a necessary blip. What you know is this: people who didn't know your name before now wave at you through windows. You know their kids' favorite cartoons, their laundry routines, their cough patterns. You start journaling again, digital this time. You write long paragraphs about the view from your balcony, about the way the light hits the rooftops, about how weirdly emotional you felt watching a neighbor hang laundry with matching clothespins. You post some entries online. Strangers thank you. You don't know why, but it helps. The days get warmer. Someone in the building plants sunflowers in a row of plastic basins. Someone else starts offering free language lessons over WeChat voice notes. You sign up for Korean. So far, you've only learned how to say rice and cat. It's enough. Your sister, 3 districts away, sends you videos of her cat doing absolutely nothing. You send back a photo of your green onions with googly eyes stuck on them. You name them Charlotte Holmes and Dr. Chive. She groans. You win. More deliveries start arriving. Less cabbage, more spice packets. Someone scores real coffee beans. There is rejoicing in the group chat. It feels like a miracle. You brew them carefully and sip as though they contain the secrets of the universe. Maybe they do. Screens don't feel like a substitute anymore. There's something else entirely. They're windows. You peer through one to see your cousin teaching Tai Chi via video. You peek into another and find a stranger performing a one-person puppet show about quarantine life. You laugh, you cry, you feel seen. And through it all, the background hum of the city shifts. There are more lights in the windows at night, fewer sirens. A quiet, tentative kind of optimism that tastes like freshly steamed buns and the first bite of fruit that isn't canned. You end your day in a group call watching videos of pandas rolling down hills. You fall asleep with the laptop still glowing softly, its blue light casting a halo on the wall. you don't feel alone. You stir awake, not because of a sound, but because of a feeling. Something different in the air. A shift. The birds sound slightly more confident. The sky looks like it might try blue today, instead of that usual grayish beige you've come to accept as pandemic chic. You check your phone, same as always, but this time the group chat is oddly quiet. No food requests, no memes, just one simple message pinned to the top. They might open the gates next week. You reread it 6 times. It's not official, not confirmed, not even from someone particularly reliable, but still, the idea of leaving your building again without QR codes or hazmat suits feels surreal. You've lived in this bubble so long, you're not sure the outside world is even real anymore. Maybe it's a set from an old movie. Maybe you've always lived like this and just imagined sidewalks and subways and bustling noodle stalls. You go through your usual morning motions, but everything has a different hue. Washing your face feels symbolic. Brushing your teeth feels ceremonial. Even your balcony children seem to sense the shift. They lean toward the light with more purpose. And then, as if to confirm your internal suspicions, your building coordinator appears in the group chat. "We'll be doing a dry run for gate access this weekend," she writes, "just to get used to it. Masks still required, no hugs yet." No hugs yet. The yet carries more emotional weight than you expected. A few days later, you hear the first sound of metal scraping on concrete. Not a siren, not a scooter. The front gate, rusty from disuse, reluctant like all of us, is being pulled open. Not wide, just enough to say, yes, this is happening. You put on your best face mask, the one with the little embroidered cloud on it, and head downstairs. There's a line already, but it's patient. People shuffle like pilgrims, eyes wide. The guards are still stern, but their posture is softer. One of them is chewing gum. That feels impossibly casual. Stepping outside is overwhelming. The smells alone make your head spin. The damp earth, the faint whiff of gasoline, even the slightly sour scent of river wind. It's a cocktail of memory and awakening. You take one step, then another. The pavement feels like unfamiliar terrain. You're not sure if you're walking or floating. The streets are not crowded, but they are no longer ghostly. A few more cars pass. A delivery worker honks twice, not urgently, just to say, hey. A grandmother walks her grandson down the road, both wearing matching panda masks. The child's eyes are wide with questions. The grandmother just pats his head. Historical sidebar. When the Black Death receded in 14th century Europe, people reportedly broke into spontaneous festivals and bonfires. Some even staged mock funerals for the plague itself. In contrast, Wuhan's reawakening is quieter, more tentative, more aware of what it cost. You pass by a shuttered tea shop with a note taped to the glass. "Back soon, we've missed you." A few doors down, a seamstress has reopened her shop. Her mannequin now wears a full-length floral kipao and a KN95 mask. Fashion meets function. You find yourself standing in front of your favorite noodle place. It's closed for now, but the owner is inside, wiping down the counter with something approaching reverence. He sees you, waves, then holds up a single finger. One more day. You nod. One more day. The return is gradual, controlled. But there are signs of life in places you didn't expect. Someone's parked a karaoke speaker on a street corner and is singing softly into the afternoon air. The lyrics don't matter. The tune is wobbly. But you stand there for 5 whole minutes, just listening. A few others do too. No one claps. Everyone smiles. You make it back home and collapse into your chair, more emotionally drained than physically. You've walked 6 blocks and feel like you've crossed continents. You sip warm water and stare out at the sky, which has gone from tentative blue to a confident blush pink. In the coming days, more things will open. You'll ride a bus again. You'll order street tofu and eat it standing up. You'll hear a stranger cough and not instantly stiffen like a startled cat. But right now, you're still adjusting. The world isn't quite safe, and it definitely isn't normal, but it's available. There's a call on your phone. Your cousin wants to meet in the park. You schedule it 2 weeks out, just in case. Your green onions have grown tall enough to harvest. You snip a few, put them in a bowl, and decide it's time for a real dish, something celebratory. You hum while cooking. Quirky note to end on. Someone in the city has organized a thank you balcony festival. Residents are encouraged to dress up, play music, and wave at everyone who supported them from behind closed doors. You RSVP yes. Your costume? A frying pan and a colander hat. It feels appropriate. Historians still debate whether Wuhan's lockdown will be remembered as a model of crisis management or a lesson in human fragility. But for you, it will always be something simpler, a long, surreal winter where the world paused and then dared to breathe again. As the city exhales, so do you. You water your balcony garden one last time before bed, now more of a ritual than a necessity. The green onions bow gently in the breeze. You bow back. You're not the same person who first shut that door behind you months ago. You're quieter now, slower, but not broken. And now, let it all fade. The city, still blinking into wakefulness, begins to slip away. The soft flicker of apartment lights, the distant murmur of a streetcar, the gentle creak of laundry swaying in night air. Let those settle behind your eyes like falling snow. The kettle whistles softly again in your memory. You feel the familiar warmth of your mug cupped between your hands. The scent of jasmine, or perhaps something stronger. You exhale, slower this time. The breath seems to linger, to float. Your feet remember the rhythm of those early steps outdoors, the way your soles met the pavement with equal parts wonder and caution. That rhythm slows now, like a song winding down. The voices from the group chats, the laughter from balcony concerts, the shy waves through frosted windows, they're all still there, just quieter, folded gently into the corners of your memory like an old scarf, always within reach if you need them again. The green onions still swaying, the sound of rice crackling in a cooling pot, the rustle of a handwritten note left on your door. We made it. You did. Let your shoulders drop. Let the air around you soften. Let the final echoes of the lockdown city drift outward, like a ripple on still water. You are safe. You are home. Sleep well.